Okay, welcome everybody to another great biking road with the Honorary Austrian. This time it's in Gran Canaria. It's the GC605 between Ayakata and Mogan. This is a road that snakes through the mountains like most of the ones here do. It gets to a kind of a high point and it goes along a ridge, past a reservoir, a couple of reservoirs actually. And then you get to a point where you start to descend rapidly and you can look down over what they call the mini Stelvio, and you'll see why when you see the photographs of what the thing looks like. It looks very similar to the Stelvio, but obviously much smaller on a much smaller scale. So it should be fun. Okay, so we've just turned off from Ayakata onto the 605 and the road quality's gone right down. Very bumpy, to take it easy for a while. Looks like this didn't get the, well, it was on the tail end of the money, I suppose, for resurfacing roads. I guess it's not one of the more important routes. It's just that it's supposed to have this amazing, oh, we got a nice bit here. Perhaps it's all good from here, perhaps it was just that little bit at the beginning. It's supposed to have this amazing mini Stelvio series of switchback hairpins. And there are signs that they're doing work on the roads. Ah, lovely. Yes, scenery's changing rapidly. It's getting into pine forests again now. I really like these sections in Gran Canaria with the pine forests. They're so beautiful, and there's very little kind of shrubbery or undergrowth between the trees, which is unusual for someone who lives in Austria, where normally forest floors are completely covered with vegetation. I think we'll stop here, Liz, take a few pickies. Yeah, so this is what the view off the side looks like. You can see a start of the pine forest and see the fact that there's very little vegetation between the trees. And that's where we come from, back up there, Rocky Bend Tiger, etc. Clip in. Off we go again. This is a brand new section of road here. Oh, didn't last long. Always amuses me, these barriers they have on the sides of the road. If you hit one of those with a motorbike, it would do nothing but pitch you straight over the edge. But I guess they're not meant for motorbikes. These were probably meant for horse and cart, I don't know. Hello. Some modern Armco. Look at the drop off here, fantastic. I think we'll avoid pitching ourselves over the edge, eh? Boah. Not good for sport bikes. Having said that, this isn't a sport bike, so I suppose it's okay. Call Lizzie up. So as I mentioned in the previous video, we're riding these Honda NC750s, which are not what we originally planned to ride, but we had a little bit of a debacle with the rental company, and the guy threw a complete wobbly just because I asked him to see if he could repair the non-functional 12-volt socket on the bike, and he just went crazy. I've never seen anything like it in my life. And in the end he cancelled both bike rentals and we had to go and find something somewhere else. Which is why we ended up with these. They're good enough for the job. As far as my motor vlogging is concerned, it's not as good as the bikes we would have rented because it's more of a naked bike. There's very little screen. I've got nowhere to put the 360 cam. and it vibrates quite a lot, so the front view camera, I imagine it's going to wobble too much to use very much, apart from on really smooth sections. So the camera cutting is going to be a little bit limited, but still, the road's nice. Look at this now, getting into some real forest now. Then we've got a lake on the left, which I believe is a man-made reservoir. Sort of recreational area, barbecues and stuff. Oh, this is turning out to be rather lovely, and the road surface isn't so bad anymore. We seem to be on a kind of a high ridge now. The route's pretty flat. Very nice. This strobe light wouldn't be very good for epileptics, eh? Another reservoir over there in the distance. Oh, that's pretty. Pop by Liz here. Have a bit more fun in these twisties. And we've got some sort of roadside, oh, it's a fruit and veg stall by the looks of it. Okay, roadside coming up. We're entering the province of Mogan. So I believe we're on the descent now. Okay, we have to turn right here. Looks like he's parked in the middle of the road for some reason. Right, so I'm expecting the mini Stelvio section to come up at any time now, because we're clearly descending the valley side down to the bottom, and Mogan's going to be in the distance down there somewhere. Sheep. I don't think two cars would want to meet going in opposite directions on this. It's a bit narrow. Oh, you can see Mogan down there, and you can see the some of the zigzags from the mini Stelvio, but I believe there's a really good viewpoint somewhere where you can really appreciate the kind of zigzags that are going on. I've seen some photos in the past. This is a route that's escaped us on previous visits, so it's kind of fun to find somewhere so interesting and so different to ride. Here we go, here's the viewpoint, the one I've been talking about. It looks pretty cool. Yeah, you can see why it's called the the mini Stelvio, zigzag, zigzag, just like the shots you see of the Stelvio. So I think we'll do a little shot here. Trusty iPhone, multifunctional, who needs anything else? There you go, you can see Mogan in the distance, hopefully. And you can see the way the road snakes on after we've done this mini Stelvio section, snaking along the sides of the valley there, all the way down to Mogan in the distance, which is what I think we're looking at there. So let's give it a go. As I say, I don't think two cars are going to pass very well on this. So we start the hairpins. Couldn't take it much slower than I took that one. It's lovely with all the palm trees. You know, I think after doing many hairpins in Austria and the Dolomites and here and so on, I generally prefer going uphill to downhill. It's a lot more fun because you can kind of chuck the bike into the corner and then gun out of it climbing up, and I don't know, I just prefer it more than going downhill. Said that, this is lovely. I think we'll see if there's somewhere to stop down here for another little picky. Oh, there's a nice hairpin. A little look off the edge here, see if there's anything suitable. No, okay. Pull off here. Do a couple of shots here, I think. Wait for Lizzie. Smile. Very pretty hairpins, aren't they, with all these trees around them and rocks and the red coloured sand and so on. Very pretty. Dappled light coming through. Lovely. I have to say, I don't think I've ever enjoyed visiting places and locations as much as since I took up motorcycling. You see so much more, it feels like you're so much more part of the scenery, and it's just a lot more fun. no comparison to driving around in cars or walking. I think the main Stelvio section's finished now, and we're just basically sliding along that valley that we saw from the top, over on the right hand side of the valley, and heading down towards Magan. When we get to the bottom, we're going to actually turn right and go up to one of our favourite little restaurants for lunch. Really is quite a convoluted set of roads, isn't it? Ooh. So yeah, I'm hoping we're going to get some decent footage out of this, because as I say, I haven't got the 360 cam, so I can't do my nice dynamic spin arounds on the corners. Front camera is going to wobble too much because the bike vibrates quite a bit, and the rear view camera I haven't assembled either, so rather limited to 2 or 3 camera angles really. But still, the scenery speaks for itself, so the front view, the head cam normally works anyway, because your body takes out the vibration of the bike. And then, oh, look at this, this is pretty, it's like a little oasis. Takes out the vibration of the bike and the road, and you tend to get pretty good results with a modern GoPro and a helmet. And we're back to more normal Gran Canaria road quality. Here we go, this is where we're going to turn right up to a little restaurant. I'll just wait over here a little bit for Liz to catch up. You there yet, Liz? Yep, okay. Here we go. See you at the restaurant. Now, this is a section of road we're quite familiar with. Done this many times. Kind of climbs up, snakes around the rock face, and then quite soon after we get around the corner there's a lovely little restaurant on the side of the road that we've used as a stop for lunch many times. There's quite a bit of traffic here as well, it's quite unusual. Here we go, here's our favourite little restaurant. Spin around, park uphill.